Today is the deadline for the report into the unauthorized landing of the Gupta plane at Waterkloof Air Force Base, and bus drivers are expected to return to work this morning. I'm Richard Brooks. Today is the deadline for the report into the unauthorized landing of the Gupta plane at Waterkloof Air Force Base. It's not clear if the investigation by several directors general has been completed and whether or when it will be made public. The team was given 7 working days to investigate the saga following public outrage over the landing of a plane carrying Gupta wedding guests at the national key point. Here's political analyst Aubrey Mateki.
We start with an investigation premised on the idea that there was no executive involvement in the landing of the Gupta plane at the Waterkloof Air Force Base. Now, beyond that limitation, you have an investigation that is headed by senior public servants instead of external actors who would conduct an independent investigation that would also look in the direction of possible executive involvement, even if it was at an informal level.
Bus drivers are expected to return to work this morning after ending their 3-week strike. The unions involved, led by Sutawo and the employers, reached an agreement yesterday after lengthy negotiations. Sutawo's Vincent Masocha has confirmed that they have accepted a 10% salary increase offer from the employer.
We just sent communication to the provinces. The strike has been called off subsequent to the agreement we have reached with the employers of a 9.5% and 5% implementable in June, and therefore in this current financial year we will have a 10% agreement overall.
Deputy President Kgalema Motlanthe has urged school principals and senior officials of the Education Department, such as inspectors, to refrain from becoming union members. He was speaking to alumni of the Wits Business School in Johannesburg. Teacher union SATU has often been accused of being a disruptive influence in schools. Motlanthe explains.
In any sector, if management and the unions are this one and the same, you run into all manner of difficulties, because the manager would be in charge of the operations, and in the union, somebody down below is the leader of the union. This is a problem which we also find in local government. The mayoral committees get involved in administration. So everybody's a politician. We got to separate administration from the political work.
The National Union of Mine Workers has submitted its demands to Eskom for the current wage negotiation cycle. The union is demanding that the salary of the lowest paid worker be increased by 3,500 rand. Wage negotiations with the power utility will start tomorrow. Morafe Tibane has more.
NUM further demands that the agreement be valid for only 1 year rather than it be a multi-term agreement. The union demands, amongst others, that the housing allowance be increased from 2,000 rand to 5,000 rand and that the housing loans be increased from 75,000 rand to 120,000 rand. It says the conditions of service must be part of the collective agreement signed by all parties when wage negotiations are concluded. Morafe Tabane, SABC News, Johannesburg.